Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Be Positive, Stay Positive podcast. My name is Nat, and I'm here for you. I am here for you to cheer you up and give you those keys to the door that will unlock your happiness. And today, I want to talk about your mind, about our minds, and how your mind is creating a reality that doesn't exist. It is. You create all day long, every waking moment, you're creating a reality that doesn't exist. What if some of the things you're worried about right now aren't actually happening? What if you're reacting to these things that are going on in your mind, but they're not really happening? Your brain is constantly interpreting and predicting and remembering and filling in the blanks, and half the time it doesn't remember accurately. And sometimes the story in your head becomes more powerful than what is actually happening. Now, number one I want to talk about is that your thoughts are not facts. Just because you think of something doesn't mean it's a fact. It may be your truth, but it's not a fact. Things like, oh, that person's mad at me, or I'm going to fail, I never succeed, or people are always judging me, or things like something bad is going to happen, this is going to be a terrible day. And when you say that to yourself, it might feel real, but it's not. It's not real. It's your mind creating it. So you have to learn to separate what you know to be true from what you are assuming and what your mind is creating, the false narratives. Because your brain fills in the gaps, because the brain doesn't like uncertainty. So if something's happening and you're uncertain about the outcome, your brain is going to manifest a whole story behind it, and you're going to see a whole scenario. How many times have you thought that something bad was going to happen, and you dreaded a situation only to get in the situation and say, wow, I'm glad I did this? Why did my mind create the worst possible scenario? Because we often suffer from imaginary futures. We make stuff up. Our brain makes stuff up. And just like when you want to talk to somebody about something, you rehearse the conversation over and over in your head, over and over and over. You're going to say this, and I want to get this point across, and I have all my ducks in a row, and you get in the conversation, and none of that comes out because the conversation doesn't go the way you imagined, and it's your imagination. So why worry about something and work yourself up over something that hasn't even happened? And I've said it before, we can't predict the future. We can create it, and you create it with your thoughts, but you can't predict it. And a lot of times, the reasons we do this, there's so many reasons behind why we create worst case scenarios, is because sometimes our past dictates the way we think about our future. Your previous experience has taught your brain to expect the same thing again. I'm not going to like my job. This person's not going to like me. Whatever it is, you were hurt once, so now you expect everybody to hurt you. You failed one time, so now every time you try something, you can't succeed. You're going to be a failure. You were rejected one time, so now everyone's going to reject you. And so your past experiences can influence your perception of your future without having the authority or the knowledge to predict it. You're creating it. Once you believe something in your mind, your brain tends to notice things that support it. So if you feel or think a certain way, your mind is going to do everything in its power to make that come true, because that's the way that your mind works. Your subconscious doesn't know what's real and what isn't. So when you think of something and think of a scenario and think of an outcome, your brain, your mind is going to do everything in its power to fulfill that, because that's what you put out into the universe. And if you believe something like no one appreciates you, you're going to really notice when someone doesn't appreciate you. You ever notice when you're thinking about something, it starts to show up everywhere? Like if you're thinking about a vacation somewhere, it pops up on the screen, or you're thinking about a certain, maybe you're thinking about food, a certain type of food, or an item you want to buy, and then or a color of a car, and you just see that everywhere because you're focused on that. That's happening to me with our vacation coming up. I see it on TV all the time. The place that I would never see where we're going, I see it there on TV. You know. So instead of asking yourself, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with the situation? Change the question. Say, what is right with me? What else can be true? What can I make come to fruition by thinking about it? Because the difference between reality and your interpretation of reality, it's huge. You know, the reality is, you text someone and they don't text you back. Your interpretation is they don't care. The reality is you made a mistake, but your interpretation is you're a failure. It's not true. The reality of someone criticizing you, but your interpretation is everyone thinks you're terrible. The story you tell yourself is so important. And the thoughts that you think create your reality. So stop arguing with the things that haven't happened yet. Stop dwelling on the things that haven't happened. Stop thinking, oh, this is what's going to happen. This is what could happen. And in a negative tone, because you're putting that out there. If you could predict and perceive a bad day, why can't you perceive a good day just as strong? Because if you honestly believe, like you stub your toe, it's going to be a crappy day. Or you stub your toe and you go, wow, glad I got that out of the way. The rest of the day is going to be great. And believe it, it'll come to you. Trust me, I do it every day of my life. So trying to predict the future of what's going to happen is like trying to argue with someone who's not even in the room. So you need to ask yourself these 3 questions. When your mind starts creating that negative reality and starts spitting out all this negativity about your day, ask yourself these 3 questions. What do I actually know? What am I assuming? And what is happening right now? Because these questions will interrupt all that unnecessary worry and all that imaginary stuff that you're making up. Because you can change your story. Every day, every waking moment, you can change your story. Change your thoughts, change your life. Have you heard that before? How about what you think about, you bring about? Have you heard that one before? And we can't control the 50,000 thoughts that come into our mind all day long. But you can control the ones that you think about, the ones that you entertain, the thoughts that you actually, the ones you retain, you think about. And you can replace what if this goes wrong with what if it works out? What if it goes right? And stop assuming that the worst is going to happen. People say, well, if I assume the worst, then it can only be better. It can only get better. Well, it's not true. You assume the worst, you get the worst. Start assuming the better, or not assuming the worst. If you can't assume a great day, then don't assume or think about a terrible day. Just think about the day and the thoughts at any given moment. Don't let your imagination keep you in a negative prison, man. Because your mind is an incredibly powerful tool. We don't even use all of it. Your mind, it can create fear. It can create hope. It creates limitations, creates possibilities. So the goal here is to don't stop thinking. It's to become more aware of what you're thinking about and why you believe it to be true. Why do you believe it's going to be a terrible day? Because it was a terrible day yesterday. Well, today's a new day. It was a terrible day yesterday because you said you're going to have a terrible day. Work's going to suck because you said it's going to suck. You create your day. You create your life with your thoughts. Before you react to a thought, I have this written down. Ask yourself whether you're responding to reality or to the story your mind created about it. I had to write that down. I wouldn't remember it. Because you don't have to believe every thought you think, but you do have to be in charge of it. So remember to think about the good, the possibility of a good day, of a good life. Remember to think about being healthy. Tell yourself when you go to sleep at night, I'm abundant. I'm going to have a great day. I'm so grateful that I got to have another day in this physical body, because our days are numbered. It's a finite existence, and the fact that we get to experience this thing called life, to me, is amazing. And when people waste it, when they just don't even put any effort into it and just let it happen to them and just waste their life away, it bothers me. Or when people are perpetually unhappy because they choose it, because they keep putting that out there, it's hard for me to accept. So sometimes I go overboard and try to cheer people up, and then I become annoying, I think. But think about your thoughts. Don't overanalyze them. But become aware of when you're thinking those negative thoughts, when you're feeling that negativity. Ask yourself those questions. What am I thinking about? Is this real? Or am I just manifesting a reality that I have no business predicting? Let me create my thoughts so that my reality is a good one. It's amazing, isn't it? And if you don't believe that you're making yourself happy, then think about something really sad that breaks your heart and see how it makes you feel. It makes you feel sad, right? Because you have that power. You have the power to control your emotions, to make yourself feel any way you want. And people who deny that are lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves about having the control over their emotions. I can't control my feelings. I can't control my... You can. You choose not to. And people argue with me saying, I can't control it. I get angry. I can't control it. You can't because you haven't tried. You haven't looked at it in a different way. I'm depressed. I don't want to live anymore. Why? Get to the root of the problem. And it's usually something on the outside, somebody else who has caused you to feel a certain way. So think about the fact that you get another day. If you're listening to this right now, you got another chance. You got another day. It's a fresh new slate, a new beginning every day. Start this day with positivity and positive thoughts. And look on the bright side. Because looking on the dark side is depressing. So don't do it. That's it. I'm out of words, man. Now I'm out of words. I appreciate. It's been a while since I've actually done a video from the studio. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting this show, all the Patreon members who are contributing to keep this show on the air. The people who have brought merchandise, coolie cups and books and shirts and all that stuff, I appreciate all of you. If you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that little notification so you don't miss the next time I do it. I was planning on going live this past weekend, but I haven't. I didn't do it, obviously. And if you want me to go live, send me a text, 304-506-3332. We can have a chit-chat on the live on YouTube, and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, and I'll see if it works. It'd be great if the studio actually worked the way I want it to work, right? So, what else? Anything else? I think that's it. Don't forget about the website and the text line, 304-506-3332. If you have a show topic or something you want me to talk about or something that's bothering you, hit me up on the text line. Let me know. I'll be glad to talk about it. And make sure you share this video and like and subscribe. As always, my name is Nat. This has been the Be Positive, Stay Positive podcast. I think we can all do a little bit better. I'll talk to you later.